So you know the story. They always say, be aware of how if somebody posts certain things on social media, how we all respond to it. So the name Shabir Chauhan got picked up yesterday when we chatted to that whole story around Indian delights, right? You know that one came up. It comes up again today because Shabir Chauhan posted on LinkedIn 2 days ago, and at 6 o'clock in the morning, I saw a fascinating story that he had about a couple, Zahid and Zahida Fakey, and where they come from in terms of what they do, but very importantly, what they're doing right now. Okay, so clearly the influence of Shabir Chauhan is there. So with me today, Zahid and Zahida Fakey. And appreciate your time, both of you. Salaam alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Walaikum salam, Ashraf.
Good. So if I'm talking to you and it's slightly inconvenient, blame it on Shabir Chauhan and his amplifying powers. Okay. So what I'm very interested in is very quickly, and maybe Zahid, let me start with you in terms of both of you have done. You have a certain space in the auditing, accounting space, and that has changed. So what has happened, and very quickly, what did you do next?
Yeah, so both of us are chartered accountants, and we actually, as a family, we had a goal at the age of 40. I was meant to retire from the profession and actually go into serving humanity, fulfilling our greater purpose. I missed that. I achieved all my goals at 40, but that. And at 42, Zada and I actually went out on holiday to Cambodia. We made istikhara salah, and yeah, this is where we are today. I left the profession and went into focusing on education and health, and somehow or the other we got involved in social work as well.
Okay, and Zahida, let me bring you in. What happened? So that was his goal. What is your goal?
We lived abroad for many years, overseas in Europe and the States. And both of us always felt that we needed to come back to South Africa and give. So that was like a long-term goal. And I was involved in community organizations and things. But I think when lockdown happened, something manifested which was far greater than us. So we always wanted to contribute to society. And somehow I think the path found us.
Okay, and that contributions, I'm reading it as We Feed SA. Zahida, tell me more about that.
About the name?
Yeah, no, the concept. What does We Feed SA do?
Okay, I think to explain what We Feed SA does, it's more who we are, because it's made up of such wonderful people. We have people who are the volunteers. It's an amazing bunch of people who give of their time and of themselves, basically. We have the sponsors. We have people sponsoring from 100 Rand a month to big corporate sponsors. We have amazing staff who came together during lockdown to come and help with the feeding, and they've stayed on. They're absolute gems. And we have our beneficiaries whom we work very closely with. So all of us comprise We Feed SA.
Okay, and Zahid, tell me about, we often forget, even outside of Ramadan, the level of dire poverty, the lack of access to the most basic foods every single day. Do I take it that We Feed SA, strikes an arrow straight to that?
Well, Ashraf, it's actually more than that. If you look at the name We Feed SA, the feed actually stands for feeding, empowering, educating, and doing it with dignity. The D stands for us doing it and serving humanity with dignity. So using our collective experience, we've actually said that, feeding is always the start of the transaction, but our focus is beyond that, is actually to empower and educate. And so we've actually started with the feed program during the lockdown, because that was a crisis, right? But we actually wanted to have a more sustainable approach to this whole crisis and empower people, educate people. And that's where We Feed SA actually wants to focus their efforts in the next few years. And
well, I'm delighted. I'm delighted it's a lot broader now. We've only got 30 seconds left, so hopefully we'll chat some other time. Quickly, Zahida, one big takeout in terms of the impact that We Feed SA is making, and Zahid, you can give me the same answer as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I think, the impact is so much greater than serving the people whom we serve. It's also, I think, changing the mindset amongst the volunteers and the people who are involved, that we can actually make a difference. We can be the change we want to see in society. So I think that concept is the most important thing. That
and you need to be
change, but you can actually be part of the process.
Yeah.
Okay, Zahid, yours, 15 seconds.
Well, so it's about the reach, the number of volunteers, and the fact that collectively people with like-minded or ambitions can actually bring value to society and actually solve the problems that we face with.
Okay, I'm going to follow you guys with greater interest now. Just be warned, because I like what you're doing. We Feed SA is what they do, and Feed is an acronym for something much more than just Chow. There you got it. Zahid and Zahida Fakey. Appreciate your time. Assalamu alaikum. And we'll certainly keep in touch. Lots more to talk about, but let's get to the news now. Just go on 9 o'clock.